We'll be starting with English. Now, in English, do you have any idea what are the topics or what are the portions from where the questions are being asked, or what kind of questions come actually? Anyone has any idea? What is the total marks for English?
5, ma'am, I guess.
Individually or you're saying about the total?
No, ma'am, individually.
Okay. Individually, 5 marks for each and every topic. That is okay. So in total, you can expect 30 marks, right? So in that 30 marks, there is a division. Now, what is that division? Oh, wait. Can you see the screen? Is it clearly visible?
Yes, ma'am.
No, no, madam. Okay, it is.
See, you'll be getting cloze test. Questions based on rearrangement. Then error correction. And one is your passage, based on the passage, right? And beyond these three, what other topics we can expect is fill in the blanks. We have a voice and narration. Idioms and phrases. Then you have synonyms. Antonyms. And this way the classification goes on. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, see, in case of cloze test, what is this topic all about? This cloze test is, wait. Is it clear now?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it okay? Okay. See, I'll just quickly discuss all the patterns because this is not at all necessary. Basically, we'll be going to directly voice change. Okay. And when we will be discussing individually the topics, we'll be discussing the pattern also. So mainly in error correction, there is that grammar correction. Okay. So for that part, we have to go through entire grammar section. And for this fill in the blanks, for this cloze test, and for the synonyms, antonyms, all these portions, for this you have to be very thorough regarding the words, means your vocabulary should be good. All right. So what is this cloze test all about? Anyone has any idea? Cloze test?
No, ma'am.
See, it's just like fill in the blanks. So in case of fill in the blanks, what happens is you get a sentence, okay? You get a sentence, in between there is a blank, or at the end of the sentence there may be a blank, or at the beginning of the sentence there may be a blank, whatever. So there is a blank which you have to fill up. And to fill up this blank, you will be getting options A, B, C, D. So based on these words, out of all the 4 words, you have to select one word which you will be filling up here. So that is your fill in the blanks where you are getting individual sentence. Right? Is it clear? Up to this
Yes,
point?
ma'am.
Okay. This is one type of fill in the blanks where there is only one blank in the sentence. Okay, there can be another type of fill in the blanks. What is that? Suppose there is a sentence given, in between there is a blank, again the sentence continues, again there is a blank. Okay, so there are two different blanks in a particular sentence. How words are given to you? You will be provided with two different words in a particular option. So you have to fill up from these words. Now suppose in this particular blank, this word is appropriate. But in this particular blank, this word is not appropriate. Then will A will be your answer? Means can you select A as your answer?
No.
No. So what you have to select, where both the words, means this particular word is appropriate for this particular blank, and this particular word is appropriate for this particular blank. So in that case, B becomes your answer. So this is another type of fill in the blanks. Okay, where in a particular sentence, there are two different blanks. Is it all right?
Yes, ma'am.
So from fill in the blanks, you can easily score 5 marks, because this particular portion of the exam or of the English paper is very, very easy. This is only dependent on words. Means if you're good in vocabulary, you'll be able to solve it. All right. So this is fill in the blanks. Now, what is the difference of fill in the blanks with closed test? In case of closed test also, you'll be getting sentences where there will be blanks. But the difference is, in case of closed test, we get a full paragraph. A complete paragraph is given to you. This is an entire story given to you. Now, in between the paragraph, blanks are given. And these blanks have been numbered. Okay. Now, how you will get your options? For this particular blank 1, you are getting options. Out of these options, you have to select. Same for option, means for blank 2, again, you will be getting different options. Similarly for 3, 4, 5, in this way. Okay. So closed test, either it can be of 5 marks or it can be of 10 marks. It varies. If they have given fill in the blanks in the question paper, then they will give you for 5 marks, closed test. This is closed test. Right. And if they have not given fill in the blanks, then they give it for 10 marks. All right. So in this particular section, what is the difference with fill in the blanks? As the sentence is continuing, so it has started from here. Here there is blank, and suppose full stop is here. That means to fill up a word here in this particular blank number 1, you have to go through this particular sentence before the blank, and you have to go through this particular sentence also, which is after the blank, because your full stop is here, isn't it? If you read only this particular part, means before the blank, and if you select any one of the word, then your answer may be wrong also, because you have not read what is the after part of the blank, isn't it? Is it clear
Yes, ma'am.
what I'm trying to say? Yes, so this is an entire paragraph.
मैम थोड़ा सा
Yes.
एक्चुअली मैम मैं लीव हो रहा हूँ, आप क्लास होने के बाद एंड कर दीजिए मैम।
क्लास होने के बाद सर
आप जूम को एंड कर दीजिए, एंड।
हाँ
आप होस्ट हो
हाँ
ना, जूम को एंड कर दीजिए तो क्लोज हो गया टोटली। ओके मैम,
okay.
थैंक यू।
So this is your closed test. All right. Now this was about closed test. Now other topics like rearrangement or error correction, other topics are completely associated with grammar. Okay. So rearrangement, in this what you get? you will be provided with sentences which are not written in sequential order. You have to arrange the sentences in such a way so that they form a meaningful story, right? So here also, you will be provided with options. For example, in option 1, the sequence is given in this way. Or in option B, the sequence is in thing given to you. So any sequence is given to you. Now you have to select out of the 4 options given to you or 5 options given to you. So this is rearrangement. Now, in all the sections, the most important part is your vocabulary and your reading efficiency, because time is a constraint here. Now, if you put much more time in just reading the question and in understanding the question, then when will you solve it? So you have to improve your reading efficiency. Okay. So in case of grammatical section, like for error correction or for other topics where your tense, adverb, adjective, all those topics are involved, there you will get rules which are trying attentions. It is very difficult to memorize the rules. Okay, so how are you going to prepare? I think you have understood the pattern. There is nothing else to discuss about the pattern, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Pattern is it clear? Pattern for okay. Now tell me how you prepare it, because you have to save time, isn't it? You have to save time because other sections are really difficult. So in English, you have to save. So how in
Ma'am, your voice is breaking.
anyone has any idea? Now tell me. Anyone has any idea how you're going to prepare? How many of you have reading habit? You have to speak out. Actually, I'm not able to see your messages, so you have to speak out. Can you all hear me?
Your voice is breaking, ma'am.
Ma'am, actually, you are not clear. Your voice is breaking.
Is it okay now?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, what I was saying is, regarding pattern, we have already discussed, and whatever else is left, we'll be discussing while solving the topics, means while studying the topics.
Okay.
In error correction, yes. In error correction, what we get question is basically based on grammar. That means you will be provided with a sentence provided given in them. Okay, so big sentence is no error. So you have to go through this entire sentence, and if you think individually all the parts A, B, C, and D are correct, there is no grammatical error, then you will mark on no error. But if you find error in any of the parts, then you will put means you will select that particular option. Okay. So I was trying to tell you pattern and now here. Now tell me, how will you prepare for English? Because you have to save time. How will you prepare? What are your plans? I could not hear you. Can you just repeat?
Practice from basic to advanced level.
Okay, so from where you will practice? From practice sets, from question papers, isn't it?
No, either practice test or test books, or maybe we can use testbook.com also.
Yes. So that is one option. Obviously, you will be practicing questions, but it's not that you started practicing at morning 7 a.m., took a paper which contains approximately 20 questions, and you finished those 20 questions in the afternoon at around 3. That is not to do. You have to put yourself under time bound conditions. Select that, okay, I'll be solving 20 questions within half an hour or 1 hour, whatever it is, whatever you think is your limitation. Select that time and gradually try to reduce that time, because your exam is time bound. You have to give time to all the sections. So from English, you have to save time. That is one thing. Second is reading efficiency. The faster you will be able to read the question, the faster your brain will process the question, the easier it will be for you to solve the question. Is it? Whatever I'm saying, is it correct?
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
So you have to develop reading habit. This is not only for making the question paper easier for you, means not only in terms of time, but also look at the pattern. There are several questions like closed test, like fill in the blanks, idioms and phrases, synonyms, antonyms, where vocabulary is important. So that means you have to improve your vocabulary. Now, from where your stock of words will improve?
reading English newspaper and magazines, watching English news, or
Yes.
we can either watch English series also.
Yes. Whatever is interesting for you, the choice is up to you. You can see, it's not possible for anyone to open dictionary and mark up the words. Okay. So what you can follow is go through English newspapers. You can follow Times of India. You can follow Hindustan Times, Economic Times. So you can go through those standard newspapers, and obviously English news is there, English movies, whatever you feel like, whatever is interesting for you to follow, just do that. Now let me tell you one thing, what I have observed in case of, as IBPS conducts all these exams, FCI exam this year IBPS is going to conduct. So if IBPS is the conducting body, generally in case of Hindustan Times, there you will find editorial columns. Okay, in those editorial columns you will find articles, and sometimes in IBPS question paper, what you see is exactly though that article has been given in the exam in rearrangement, or in closed test the paragraph has been given and blank has been given. So that will be beneficial for you. Or sometimes you'll not get the paragraph completely, but you'll find that in synonyms, antonyms, in case of idioms and phrases, you've got common words. Sorry, not in case of idioms and phrases, in case of fill in the blanks, you've got common words. Those words were there in that editorial column. Okay. So you can try and follow that Hindustan Times. It's the editorial part I'm saying. Only the editorial write-up, I'm talking about that. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So what you have to do is, initially when you will start reading those editorial columns, what you will find is those who have a reading habit, it's okay for them. But those who don't have, it will be actually boring, and that process will be slow. But don't get tensed by all those things. Just go through that paragraph. You will find several words for which you are means you are not sure about. You don't know the meaning of those words. So just collect those words, first work, okay? Find out their meaning. Once you know the meaning, try to form sentences in your own words. Make a sentence. Whatever word you have got, from that word, try to make a sentence on your own. So when you will do that, what will happen is sentence making will keep that word in your mind. Means basically whenever you'll see that word again, immediately you will be able to recollect, okay, that this was the sentence I formed, or this is the word, this is the meaning. So it will be easier for you. I think so. If you have any other suggestion, you can also give. Anyone?
Ma'am,
Any queries up to this part? Huh?
yeah. Ma'am, from where we have to start for grammar?
Where we have to start the
Grammar.
grammar? We will be doing in class, and then after the class you'll be getting practice sets. So based on the rules, whatever you will be studying, you can practice from those practice sets. And regarding books, there are several books that you can follow. There is SP Bakshi, there's Aryan Publication, then KD Publication, Flint. So there are several books you can follow if you want. Means extra, anything you want to see or study, that is okay. You can study from there.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Otherwise, practice sets. All right. Do you have any book?
Yeah, ma'am. I have plenty.
Yes, that is a good book. So you can follow that. All right.
Yeah.
So, anyone has any confusion regarding pattern and regarding how you have to practice? Anyone has any confusion? Regarding doubts, you can obviously ask in class. That is not an issue. But rest, you have to practice. Okay. So today we'll be starting with voice. And after the class, you'll be getting that in practice sets also. As sir said, you can practice from there. And if you have any issues, you can speak out. Means if you think the class is going too fast or anything, any doubt, obviously you can say. Up to this point, is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Now tell me, regarding voice, what idea you have?
Ma'am, there are two types of
Passive
voice,
voice.
active and passive voice.
Passive voice.
So we are aware of two things, active voice and passive voice, right? Now tell me, in case of active voice, what happens? What do we understand by active voice?
Ma'am, it's like in the sentence, the main focus is like, ma'am, you can say, ma'am, for example, a sentence is there. So the main focus is on that part of the sentence. Means if the other part is also removed, then also that sentence is a whole in itself. That is the active voice, we can say, the active part of the sentence. The passive voice is the other one, which is like dependent on the active part.
Okay. See, in case of any sentence, we can say that there are two things involved. One is subject and another one is object, isn't it? In case of a sentence, two things get involved. One is the subject and another one is the object. So when any action, okay, action of this action is done by the subject. When subject is doing an action, then that sentence will come under active voice. Okay. When our major focus is on the subject of the sentence, subject is doing an that is active voice. And in case of passive voice, object is being acted upon. Okay. Here, object will do the action. For example, if I say T grows in Assam. Here, what is the subject?
Tea.
What is the main point that we are focusing on?
Tea.
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 Tea. So here,
Yes, ma'am.
who is doing action? Tea is doing action.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
So is this sentence active voice or is this sentence passive voice?
It's active.
Active voice.
Now, if you want to change it in passive, yes. So this is an active voice. Tea grows in Assam. Now, if we change it in passive voice, then can we write it? Tea is grown in Assam.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So there are certain rules based on which we change the sentences from active voice to passive voice. All right. We'll move to the rules actually. Let me first tell you a sentence. You have to tell me whether there is any error in this sentence or not. The sentence says, people speak English all over the world. So is this sentence in active voice or is this sentence in passive voice?
Active voice.
Active voice, people speak English all over the world. So who is speaking English? People?
People.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? So this is an active voice. Now we have to convert this in passive voice. So what will be its passive form?
English
case
is
of-
being spoken by
People all over the
Over the
world.
world.
yes.
Okay, let me give you a few options. Okay, select from the option. First one is English is being spoken all over the world. That part I have not written. Okay, the sentence is continued. Second is English is spoken all over the world. Third is English has been spoken all over the world. And the fourth one is English is being spoken thoroughly all over the world. Now tell me which one. In A, how many of you are saying A will be the answer?
Ma'am,
Anyone?
A.
A, ma'am.
Ma'am, A.
Okay. All right. Who are there in A? Others?
Ma'am, me.
Yes, ma'am. Me too.
Okay. B. What about others?
Ma'am, answer
Anyone
is
else?
A.
A. Okay. What about others?
Ma'am, B.
A, madam.
Now look at the sentence. Here, people speak English all over the world. So people is our subject. English is what? Object.
Object.
Right? What is speak? Speak is the verb. Right? So here this verb is in the V1 form. Speak. Right? This is in the V1 form. V1 form means simple present tense form. Isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. So if person is in tense, just like this particular sentence, simple present tense, like he eats or he speaks, anything in this way. So people speak English all over the world. This is in simple present tense, where the verb used is V1. In that case, how you will make the passive voice? We will first write object. Then what we will write? Is or am or are. Okay. Plus, what we'll write? The third form of the verb. If V1 is speak, then what is the third form of the verb? Speak, spoke, spoken, isn't it?
Spoken.
Yes, ma'am.
Spoken.
Spoken. So V3
Spoken.
is spoken. Then
Spoken.
you will be, yes, then you will be using by, and then we'll be using our subject. This is the rule. Okay. So what is the rule? First, we will write object plus is, am, or are based on the sentence. Then we will use V3, then by, and then the subject. Now convert this sentence.
English is being
Is
spoken
spoken.
by the
English is
people
spoken.
all over
Yes.
the world.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what is the object here? English. Then obviously
ma'am.
is will come. So English
ma'am.
is spoken by
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 people.
people all over the
Over
world.
the world.
So your answer will be B.
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 Okay.
So did you get the rule?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
This was for simple present.
Ma'am, your voice is
Similarly,
breaking, ma'am.
so simple present tense. This is for simple present tense. Okay. Now, sentence can be in simple present tense. It can be in simple past tense, or it can be in future, simple future. Right. So, as in simple present tense, you were doing that object is, am, are plus the V3 form of the verb, then by, and then subject, right? Similarly, you have to do in past and in future also. For example, if I tell you for past tense, suppose, suppose this is the sentence. A person played football in the ground. This sentence is in past tense.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now change it.
Football was played by the person in the ground.
So here also same thing, object plus instead of is, am, are, what you will do? Was or were.
Was.
And here V3 form will be there. Then by, and then subject. So based on that, if you change, here object is what? Football. So that means sentence will start with this, football. Then obviously in past tense, that's why was. Third form of the verb, here it will be played only.
Yes, ma'am.
So football was played by the person in the ground. Isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Now tell me, what will happen in case of future? Suppose
Ma'am,
the
read.
sentence, I'll give you a sentence, just convert it. The sentence says, I will read a novel today. This is the sentence.
Novel will
A
be
novel
read
will
by
be
me
read by
today.
me today.
Okay. Here, I is the subject, so that will go at the end.
Hmm.
Novel is your object, so it will come in the beginning.
Yes,
A novel,
ma'am.
right? So the sentence will
Yes,
become,
ma'am.
a novel will be read
Read
by
by me.
Me today.
Yes. Okay. So what is the difference with present and past? The only difference is here we are using be verb. Okay.
Be.
So in case of future, what you will do is you will use object plus will or shall, whatever is there in the question. Based on that, you will be using will or shall plus be plus V3 form of the verb, then by, and then subject. Okay. The difference with other forms is here be is included. In case of future. This is when your sentences are in simple form, means simple present tense or simple past tense or simple future. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Next is, suppose if we are provided with a sentence where action is getting continued, where the action is continuing, then what we'll do? Suppose if our sentence is, the committee is looking into the matter. Suppose this is the sentence. Okay, continuous tense is looking. Is plus ing form of the verb. Means V1 plus ing. So now tell me, how will you convert this?
The matter
What
is
is the
being
subject?
Matter
looked
is
by the committee.
being looked by the committee.
Here, the subject is committee.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
what is the object? Matter.
Yes, ma'am.
Isn't it?
Hmm.
So obviously, object will come in front. So the sentence will become the matter. Next is
Being
what? Is looking.
Is
So
looking.
here, what we do is we use is
looked by the
R. Yes. We will use being. And then we will use the V3 form of the verb, that means looked, is being looked, and then the sentence continues into, by
the committee.
All right. So in case of continuous tense, what we are doing? We are writing the object plus the is, am, are form. Next, what we are using being, then the V3 form of the verb, and then by, and then the subject. Okay. This sentence was in present continuous form. Now, if the sentence is in past continuous form, then suppose the same sentence, the committee was looking into the matter. Then what you will do?
The matter was being looked into by the committee.
Same sentence, okay? Only difference will be instead of is, will be using was.
Is.
The matter was
Yes, ma'am.
looked into by the committee. Okay. So in case of past continuous form, here you will use was or were, then being, then the third form of the verb, and after that there will be by and then the subject. Now tell me, if the sentence is in future, suppose the sentence, same sentence, the matter will be looked into by the committee. What will happen to the sentence?
No change, ma'am. Future continuous does not have passive.
Okay, what about others? Do you agree with her? Whatever she is saying, that future continuous will not have a passive form? The sentence, the matter will be looked into by the committee. Mean
Ma'am,
you
your
form
voice
its
is
passive
breaking.
form. I'm saying that will you be able to develop its passive form from the future form of the sentence?
No, ma'am.
No. So in case of continuous, what is the rule then? If in present continuous form or in past continuous form, then we will be able to develop its passive form. But if the sentence is in the future continuous form, then we'll not be able to develop the passive form. So for present continuous, what was the active form? Object plus the is, am, are based on the sentence. Then what you'll use? Being. Then V3 form of the verb. Then by.
Then
And
subject.
then the subject. Same past continuous. The only change here will be instead of is, am, you
Was or were.
or where. Okay. The rest part of the sentence is same, means object plus was or were plus being plus V3 plus by and plus subject. Next is what? Future. For future continuous form, passive is not applicable. Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, let me give you a sentence. The sentence says, the news has surprised us. The sentence is an active voice or a passive voice?
Active.
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 Who has surprised us? The news.
News.
That means news is our subject. Yes. So
Yes, ma'am.
news is our subject. It is in the first part of the sentence. That means this is an active voice. Okay. Now, what is the tense of the sentence? Has surprised. Has
Present
means it is
perfect.
in the present form, and has surprised means present perfect.
perfect.
So now convert it into passive form. Yes, present perfect.
We have been
So convert it into
surprised.
passive form.
We has been surprised by the news. We have been.
We have
We
been.
have been surprised by the news.
Okay, what else? I'll give you a few options. First option says, we have been surprised at the news. Second says, we have surprised at the news. This part is same. Third says, we have been surprised at the news. Fourth says, we have been surprising at the news. Which one is correct? Or all of them are wrong?
See, ma'am.
All are wrong, ma'am.
C, being. All are wrong. Okay, what about others?
We
Wrong,
are
ma'am.
being surprised at the by the news. We are.
By the news.
We
We
were
are.
surprised by
Okay.
the news.
We have been surprised
Because
by the
all the
news.
options are wrong.
All the options are wrong. Why? As their at has been used, by is not written.
Ma'am, it will be like we are surprised.
Okay, include that in the option as well. No issues. Now tell me.
Ma'am, there should be by instead of at.
Yes, ma'am.
Acha. Now tell me something. Here, look at the word first. The word is surprised. Okay. So first, I'll tell you something about few words. There are some words like surprised, where obviously by is correct. We have been surprised by the news. Fine. But after surprise, at is also correct. Okay. Either we can use at or we can use by. For example, instead of surprised, if suppose there is word like amazed, then what will be your answer? Amazed at, astonished at, or startled at, annoyed at something. All right. But if you have words like annoyed, for example, if I talk about annoyed, okay, so in case of annoyed, I just said na, annoyed at something. So if there is something, then you can use at. But if it is written annoyed dash somebody, what will be your answer? Annoyed
By.
somebody. So based on what? No, with annoyed with somebody, annoyed by someone's work. Okay, that is the third point. Annoyed at something, annoyed with somebody, annoyed by someone's work. 3 points. So based on the word and based on the word that you're using afterwards, this preposition will change. All right. So for surprise, if the option is given at, then also it is correct. If the option is given by, then also it is correct. So that is the first thing. That means at here, whatever is given in the option, this point is correct. Now check the rest part of the sentence. Here, in the rest part of the sentence, the news has surprised us. That means news is our subject. So it will go to the end of the sentence. And here us is our object. So when you will write us, how you will write? We. Now here the sentence is in present perfect tense. That means has surprised. So how do we change it? In case of present perfect, we use has or have. So as we have written here we, what we'll write? Have. After have, what we use? Been. Not being. Being is wrong. Been. And then what we use? The third form of the verb. So we have been serviced at the news. Is this thing clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Therefore, in case of some words like annoyed, in case of surprised, or you have decorated, right? Astonished, in this way. Be careful about these words. For surprise, at or by will go. For decorated, it is with. For astonished, it is at. Now for annoyed, it is annoyed at something. Okay. But if I change this at and if I write here annoyed with, then what will it become? Annoyed with somebody. Okay. Similarly, if we use contained, then what will be a preposition? Contained in. Okay. Or if you use engulfed, then engulfed in. This way on. For example, if you use a tired, or okay. Known to. So this way. Okay. Just be careful about the position. This is. Now tell me, if the sentence is in past tense, means past perfect, then what happened? Same sentence if you write in past. The sentence has surprised us. Acha, wait, first tell me, could you read all this? Are you people noting down or?